Very good stuff. Excellent stuff. I remember Jason was on the show. He told us that story about the kissing, the grandfather kissing the grandma on the nose. Bye, babe. I mean, it's just beautiful stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
You got great content on this, great combination. And now, did you write it all? You just kind of laid it out, work with Ascension?
I actually gave that story to Jason.
Did
it's
you
not
tell
even
him?
his. I'm kidding. No, we took about a year. The first part of this process was a year with a priest, a few people involved in youth ministry. Again, Ron Bolster, co-author, who's the director of catechetics at Steubenville. And every week met and just hammered out the basics of the faith to come up with a framework for the whole thing that all the presenters based their presentations on. It was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in ministry, because we tend to sometimes skip over the basics, you know, but really diving into the very basics, and you see how God has this symphony that fits together throughout salvation history, and all these doctrines, everything fits together, and it also all fits into our lives. Right. You know, it just blew me away doing that. It was so beautiful. It was joyful, man.
So, Father, when they presented you with the idea and you agreed to get on board with this, did they say to you, okay, we want you to come up with the content, or here's a good idea of the content, or that we want?
So they laid out, here's how we want to present it. Okay. And then it was, okay, we want to also include these points. Like, these are some of the main points that catechetical-wise, like, we need, and as well as here's kind of the tone. And then they kind of just said, okay, write it. You're going to have these many spots, you know. So it's like, okay, how do I teach? Because I work at the University of Minnesota Duluth as a campus chaplain on a regular basis, as well as the diocese youth ministry stuff. And sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes it's like a hillbilly daycare, but other times it's just other times.
What does that look like?
You have no idea. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, in our daily lives, how would I want to tell any of my high school students or my college students about, like, sin and reconciliations? That's another one we get to do, or holy orders. And so they were great about letting us kind of just go for it. Then we'd submit it, and they would say, okay, that's terrible, send it back, you know. Or they'd say, this is great, we want to, you know, sharpen it up, or whatever. So it was really helpful to have a lot of
feedback back and forth.
And you have so many people doing that. Like, these people who this is their life.
Sure.
And, you know, I talked to a lot of parishes that say, how do we get in so-and-so? How do we get this person in? Like, how do you get Jason Everett to come talk to your parish about marriage or chastity? Well, in this program, you have 12 people that you would, like, want to pay a lot of money to get to your parish, but they're not just a one-shot deal, not one-night thing. They're in your parish, but they're part of this program that is all about the forming of the youth in your parish.
No, that's great. Yeah, you get just a good collection of some great speakers, and it's very accessible through this. So, speaking of that, where do they go? People who are listening and watching, where do they go to get information on this?
Confirmationstudy.com. Confirmationstudy.com. And we have the confirmation prep version, and then the general faith formation version of the program, which is really the same great content, same speakers, but without the overt references to confirmation, because you don't want kids who need that basic formation, and then we all do. Right. You know, you don't want them feeling like they got leftovers from the confirmation class.
So basically, you know, someone, a youth leader, a parish priest could call or go to the website, and they can get the program, and it can be specifically confirmation oriented, or it can just be kind of a general formation orientation.
Yep. It's all on confirmationstudy.com. And you can get all that stuff through Ascension Press.
And is there like a starter packet, starter kit they can look at first before they go buy the whole enchilada? Or?
Yep, and thank God we have 4,000 parishes. We broke the 4,000 mark that have gotten these starter packs to check the program out. And you know, we'll see in the months ahead. A lot of them are, I mean, overwhelmingly. That's why we created the regular faith formation edition as well, because this give us more, you know, is all we're hearing, and I couldn't be more overjoyed by that, especially as a dad. When my kids are saying, give us more, you know, my 15-year-old daughter told me, that's my favorite part of the week. Well, praise God. That's why I made the program, because they might not listen to me when I'm talking to them, but if I go on the TV, then they'll listen to Dad.
Just bring in some friends over here that you know to help out with it.
Exactly.